Welcome to my channel Logic Bytes by Anand. So today problem of the day is seems interesting. So let's go into this description. So if you want the solutions of top 150 interview questions, I started a playlist by solving uh, at least one problem daily. So you can check out the playlist. I will provide the link in the description. So yeah, going to the description, the question is ugly number 2. So an ugly number is a positive integer whose prime factors are limited to 2 comma 3 comma and 5. Given an integer n, return the nth ugly number. So he mentioned that what is an ugly number? What is an ugly number? For a number, let us say there is a number x and whose prime factors are limited to 2 comma 3 comma 5, right? Sorry for the disturbance. So let us consider an x number as x, and we find the prime factors of x, and we get some prime factors like 2 comma 5 comma 7. So it means the prime factor should be limited to 2 comma 3 and 5. It should not contain more than these three numbers, right? So yeah, and he didn't ask to check whether the n number is ugly number or not. So he asked nth number. So we have to generate the first n numbers and we have to return the nth number. So let's understand the problem with going to the examples. So the first example given is 10, right? So n equal to 10 and the answer is 12. Let us go in detail why it is 12. The first ugly number is 1. So what are the prime factors for 1? There are no prime factors, right? So the number of prime factors are limited to 2, 3 and 5. It means we should contain 2 comma 3 comma 5 or none of them, right? And no prime factor should not exceed 5. So 1 has no prime factors and we store 1. And for 2 the prime factors are 2, and for 3 3 itself, for 4 2, for 5 5, and for 6 the prime factors are 2 comma 3, which are limited to 2 3 and 5. So for 7, what is the prime factor? 7, right? So it exceeded the prime factor, it exceeded 5, right? And we should not exceed, consider the number whose prime factor is greater than 5. So the next number is 8. The prime factors for 8 is we get 2, and for 9 the prime factor is 3, and for 10 the prime factors are 2 comma 5, which are limited to 2 3 5, and for 12 the prime factors are 2 comma 3, which are limited between 2 3 5. So by following these first 10 ugly numbers, what is the pattern that you are observed? We are storing multiples of 2 comma 3 and 5 in ascending order, and those multiples, I mean, you can say that we skipped 7, right? Because we cannot form 7. There is no 7 in the multiples of 2 3 5, right? So that's it. We have to find the multiples of, or we have to generate the multiples of 2 3 5 in increasing order, and we have to return the nth number. So what will be the 11th, I mean 11th ugly number? It should be 14, right? After 12, what will be the next number? 13. But 13 is a prime number and it is exceeded 5. and we don't consider 13 as our answer. So the next is 14, and 14 is multiple of, I mean, what are the factors of 14? Prime factors 2 comma 3 comma sorry 2 comma 7, right? So it exceeded 5. But previously I mentioned that we should store multiples of 2, 3 and 5, right? Yes, that's the correct. But while considering the multiples, we should multiply 2 with a number such that that number should also be a ugly number. How do we generate multiples of 2? By taking uh, natural numbers, right, from 1 to and so on. While taking natural numbers, we have to consider the ugly numbers, and we multiply with 2 and we get an ugly number, right? So let us say to get 14 we need a 7, right? By multiplying 2 with 7 we get 14, but 2 is a ugly number but 7 is not ugly number. 7 also should be a ugly number. So 2 into 3, here 2 is an ugly number, 3 is an ugly number, so we get 6. And for 5, 1 is ugly number, 5 is ugly number, we get 5. For 4, 2 is an ugly number, and the 2 into 2, right? So for 3, 1 is ugly number and 3 also ugly number, we store 3. So for 2, 2 is a prime number within the range and 1 is also ugly number. So we multiply 1 with 2, we get 2, right? So let me explain more clearly with visualization. So wait a minute. So guys, check this out. So we are currently, we have just one element which is 1, the first ugly number, and we have to store the multiples of 2, 3, 5. And while calculating the multiples, we should multiply 2, 3, 5 with ugly numbers only, right? So what is our first ugly number? 1. So we multiply 1 with 2, we get 2, and by multiplying 3 with 1 we get 3, and by multiplying 5 with 1 we get 5. And in these three values, what should be the next value? The minimum of it, right? So we take minimum 2 and we store it in our answer. After getting the multiple of 2, and we have to get next multiple, right? So for 2, next multiple would be changes, right? Where it changes, previously we are multiplied with first ugly number 1, and it changes to the next ugly number. What is the next ugly number? 2 itself, right? So we move and we calculate the second ugly number, we go with third ugly number, we have to find third, and we increase our pointer of 2 to the next. So p2 is changed. So now the multiple of 2 would be 2 into 2, right? 4. And in these 3, 4, 3, 5, what is the minimum? 3, right? So we update 3 and we go to the next. We move the our current pointer, and which pointer did we consider as minimum, we should move that pointer to the next, which is pointer p3. So let's move this pointer. Wait a minute. It's, yeah, wait just a minute. Pointer p5 didn't move to anywhere, so we consider just P3 is at 1, right? So what will be the next multiples of P3? Previously we have multiplied with first ugly number 1, and next we should multiply with next ugly number 6. And in these three, what is the minimum? 4, right? So we write 4 and we move our current pointer and we change which 4, 6, 5 we have, and 4 is the minimum, so we write 4 and we increment current pointer to next, and 4 is a multiple of 2, right? And we move the pointer p2 to the next multiple, so we move p2, and what is the next value, I mean next multiple of 2 is 2 into array of p2, right? So it will be 2 into 3, 6. So in these three numbers, what is the minimum? 5, right? So we write 5 at our current pointer and we move p5 pointer to the next. Let's say we keep it here and we update, I mean we move our current pointer to next and we update the next multiple of 5, right? To p5 into, I mean 5 into array of p5, which is 10. And in these three, what is the minimum number? 6, 6, right? Out of 6 comma 10, the minimum is 6, so we write 6 in our current pointer and we update the pointers which have the values of 6, which are p2 and p3, right? So we move p2 p3 pointers by to their next multiple, so p2 as well as p3, and we keep p5 at first, so we update their next multiples, right? So p2 moved to 4, it means 8, and p3 moved to 3, which is 9. And in these three, what is the minimum? 8, right? So we 8, sorry, we have to move the current pointer of writing 6, right? Yeah, it is updates. Now we completed 8, we go to next pointer and we update 8th pointer, right? 8 with mean p2 pointer should be moved, it moves to 10. Yeah, that's it. So whenever you multiply 2 with the p2 pointer, 3 with p3 pointer, 5 with p5 pointer, you choose the minimum of them to the current position I, and you increment the pointers p2, p3, p5 which have their minimum value, right? So here in previous case we have these three elements 6, 10, right? So two pointers have 6, so we have to update both the pointers, right? So that's the approach, guys. We have to find up to size of n elements, so we iterate from 1 to n and we return at last element of the array. So let's go with the coding part. Yeah, guys, so there is been a glitch, a technical issue, which the video wasn't recorded properly. It's stopped at the middle, so I just solved the question. So once again I'm explaining, or I deleted my code and I'm solving again. So we need an array, right, to build up n numbers. So our array first ugly number will be 1, right? So we need pointers, 3 pointers to store, to track the multiples of 3 comma 2 comma 5, right? So they initially point to the first ugly number, which is 1, right? Array of p2 means 1, array of p3 1, array of p5 1. So we have to build a matrix, I mean build an array with 1 to n I plus plus, where we store array of I, minimum of math dot minimum of 2 into array of p2, right, and 3 into array of p3, 5 into array of p5. So here, sorry, it's my bad, it's a star. We know that minimum function should contain only two parameters, but we have to find the minimum in three parameters with with minimum of three of them. So what we do, first we find the minimum of these two, right? So if we find minimum of these two and we find minimum for the next element, so we get minimum. So in three of them we should increment the minimum value point, right? So we check which pointer, I mean which pointer has the minimum. If second pointer multiple is equal to nums or array of I, we increment p2, right? Same for 3, it would be 3 for we increment p3 pointer, and for 5 we increment p5 pointer. So at last, after building array, we have to return array of n minus 1, right? So I think that's it, that's the code. Let me just run it again. Yeah, it works well. So that's it guys, I hope you are clear with the question. So yeah, the kind time complexities would be order of n. Yeah, I checked it before and video wasn't recorded at the time, so sorry for that. Okay guys, I hope if you like my content, you may share the video to your friends, and please like and subscribe. So that's it guys, see you in the next lecture. Bye.